Alrighty guys, I'm going to get the show on the road nice and quickly because I've got a potential option presenting on gold. As always guys, sorry about the late start, late notice, but as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening guys. I'm looking at gold buys on the current candle as it begins to break the high of the previous. I've not been triggered in yet. We've got a closure above the minor resistance in the M15. We're bouncing off a support formed during the Asian session at the open. Also got an M30 bullish engulfing candle. We're also still, the bias is still bullish. The 30-minute has flipped bearish. I just quickly wanted to get that out of the way in case we missed a potential move. I'll turn the music down, those of you on YouTube. So I've got an entry set at 3119.35 is the entry I've got set at the moment. I've got a lower wick on the new candle as well. Not being triggered into the trade just yet, so let's see. But I just wanted to clear that before, let you guys know my intentions prior to missing out really, and prior to doing the top-down analysis. So guys, you know the drill. Please do smash that like button. Guys on TikTok, hit that screen. Sorry, it's been a long day. Screen for me. And this is good. I'm liking this. I'm liking the fact that now it's pulled back yet again. So even better if it breaks zone high yet again. Very comfortable to look for a buy based off price action, bouncing off a previous level of support to the left hand side. So guys, let's quickly have a look at the news, see what we've got in regards to the news today. It's a big day ahead for the US session with ADP to come. So that will definitely have an impact on things. Obviously gold and any USD pair, any USD pairs, so the majors. So that's something definitely keep an eye on. As far as our session here today, nothing of real high impact, so pretty smooth sailing. And yeah, we'll see. So that's my current, what I'm looking at. I've got a buy stop set just above the previous candle. I've got it set at 35 is my actual, where I've got the buy stop set at the moment. Alrighty guys, let's do the top-down analysis. Sorry, a little bit rushed today. I've been out all day and I literally just got in about 10 minutes ago. Looking at gold and looking at the weekly time frame, we are forming yet again a very strong bullish candle, higher high, higher low. Nothing yet suggests we could make a deep pullback or any sort of pullback of, you know, substantial pullback. But we'll see what we've got on the daily time frame. We've finally got a bearish candle. Weak bearish long upper wick. We've respected a low of that candle. We created a low wick during the Asian session at the daily open. So at this rate, if we were to begin that to break that support, perhaps there could be options to sell. Reason being, we'll see shortly once we go down to the M30 actually flip the structure on that time frame. Boyer is respecting structure. It has tapped into the last significant higher low. We are bouncing off it. Previous candle low, we've just closed. So I feel that's also add confluence. That will also add confluence to my potential, our potential entry. Reason being is because we don't have much of an upper wick, and even if we were to continue in line with the strength of that previous 4-hour candle, it's likely we'll pull back to create a decent upper wick prior to making a move back down. Based off that, could get involved. We could, I feel there's a high probability we'll be able to get to that first target, first TP. Whether that be 10, 15, 20, 30 pips, whatever it is for you guys. For me, I'll start securing when I see fit, probably about 10 plus. So I feel that's a good thing to have on our side. Looking at it now on the 30, let me quickly draw in the zones on the 4 hour. So got a massive zone here. We'll adjust it obviously on the 30 resistance. We've got a big zone also the upside. We'll just worry about the most recent level. And yeah, so we'll just adjust this and we'll focus once again. The most recent levels go to the 15-minute time frame. Just adjust it to that point there. So stop loss, I've actually got it set just a little bit below the 15 low at the moment. So for me, I'm obviously looking for the buys at the moment from above the support. If we, like I mentioned before, we've got a 30-minute bullish engulfing candle forming at the daily low. We've also, so we've perhaps grabbed some more liquidity from the Asian session lows, and we've also got 15-minute closing above the resistance. Now we're currently pulling back. All good. I'm still keeping the buy stop in for the time being. I will let you guys know as soon as I decide to remove that order. Will there be cheeky sells below? Potentially. We could also look for potential sells below the 15-minute support. Do have a bit of margin to the downside, and as I mentioned before, the 30-minute structure is now technically bearish. So we do have some sort of confluence to actually look for in what I believe is a more high probability sell. That in line with the actual previous daily closing back bearish. If we were to close below that 31.09, I feel it's a high probability would come back down to 31.06 and we could get a quick scalp based off that. Unfortunately, where we are just now, if this was closed bearish engulfing, I don't see us really having the margin to take it back down to the 4 hour support. To be honest, I'd rather just wait and see how price reacts to that level. So I'm not going to look for the sells if this closed bearish engulfing. It's going to patiently chill. So I'm looking for potential buys. Further options, if it does pop up towards the resistance on the 4 hour, obviously I would look for my options to sell it from, just trading the range again, the 4 hour range. So that is quickly gold out of the way. So that will look something like so. We've got 5 and a bit minutes left of this M15. So I'm keeping the order in just now, but I may remove it shortly. Have we broken all of that previous candle? I see markets, it looks like we may have. No, not quite. Very close to it. So that is gold, guys. Let's quickly take a look at GJ. I will get to you guys shortly. Don't want to miss out on the analysis, and we are running a little bit late today. All right, so starting with GJ, I'm looking at the weekly rebounding just now. So we've got a lower high, lower low to that previous candle. Not much of a need for us to pull back up and break our own high. If we do, perhaps we could pull back further into that previous weekly candle's wick. Onto the daily time frame. Once again, we keep tapping into the last significant high low in the daily. We keep respecting that significant level, which lines up with previous resistance here to the left. So based off that, indicates to me that once again, if we were to break the previous daily candle's high, begin to break above the current weekly candle's high, I feel at that point there is a high probability we could make our way back up to 195.60, that sort of region, back up at the daily resistance here to the left. Once again, bullish in structure, counter probabilities to the downside, but with that liquidity candle suggesting if we break it, we could continue up. 4 hour is bearish in the structure. That level is where the structure will flip bullish. So even if you can correlate with a 4 hour closing above, if it so happens to be that the candle closes above, closes the 4 hour above at the same time, we've got some very clean traffic to the left. By looks at the 4 hours, it's likely going to be buys above. Most recent support is point just here. So bearish on the 4 hour, bullish on the daily, bullish on the weekly, still based off the previous at this point. And the M30 structure is technically bullish. But it is at 4 hour resistance. We have form support on the way up. It's a little bit choppy below that, the most recent support for me. What I'm likely going to be waiting for on GJ is to see how price reacts to this level here at 193, 190, 193.20. If we begin to pop below that point there, then in my opinion, it's going to be some nice options to sell. We've got clean traffic to the left. and could target 192.80 and then potentially a way back down to 192.50. So that is what I'd be looking at on GJ for the sell options, unless we pop back up just now only to reject. As long as we got the margin to the downside, if we do make a clean move up, reject, nice clean candles, it could be an option. Just something I mentioned yesterday, if you guys remember on stream when we were in this mess, what I did say was in this situation we're best to let it create some clean moves to cut through the crap. Then in my opinion it becomes more probable to trades. What we had after the stream was a nice impulse down. I mean, a clean pullback, rejection. To me, that was a pretty solid entry. So just goes to show why I wanted that scenario to happen. Personally wasn't on the chart for, I missed it by a split second. I was setting up a market update video for my team and I missed it by literally about 10 seconds from executing. I would have taken it for sure. Further options on GJ, obviously the buys above. It's a bit choppy to the left, so we'll have to consider, just depending how we'll reconsider how when candles approach that level, if they do approach. Otherwise I'm looking for buy from support. So that is, whoops, pretty much what I'm looking at on GJ. Could just drag this up, to be honest. So buys from the support. Gold is breaking down. Gonna remove the order for the time being and just chill and wait to see how the candle closes. And furthermore, for the sells on GJ below that support as well would be another potential option for me. So that's GJ. Hopefully it makes sense, guys. Once again, apologies for being a little bit rushed. Gold, just removing the order now. We have 1 minute left on the 15. We're closing bearish engulfing, so that means I need to wait. Based on my rules, I now need to wait for another strong bullish candle if I'm to look for a buy from this support. Just following simple rules, painting the picture black or white. There's no FOMO, there's no emotions, it's either yes or no. And at this rate, the impulse entry is off the table for me, so I just need to wait, see how the next 15-minute candle closes. Now I can take a breath. Who we got here today? Lau, good morning to you. As always, Barman, appreciate it. Same as always, Franco, Tony Gold, welcome to you guys on YouTube. TikTok, to those of you on TikTok, appreciate you all for joining as well. What have I missed? Let me quickly go through, skim through the TikTok stream. Thank you to all new followers. It's been a fantastic start to the week, 2-0 on both trades called on stream. Continuing on from what was a really good March and last week on stream as well, we had four wins, 4-0 on stream. User buy or sell at the moment, nothing. Was looking for a buy, but it's becoming invalid. I need to just patiently wait 15 more minutes and could have an option again. FX only right now, the 15-minute. Mr. 5 post bots, sorry, Mr. 5 bots looks bearish. It's coming down. To me, the high time frame picture is still very bullish. I'm just going to draw in resistance now, guys. We've got resistance, so that becomes where I want to look for buys above. USD Mexican, wow. Never, I mean, I can't remember the last time I had someone request that. Consolidating at support looks pretty terrible at the moment. Weekly flipping back bearish, has a high low high high to the previous. Having done so, not much need for it to pull back down, break its own low. If it does, suggest maybe it's grab liquidity from the upside to make a deeper move to the downside. Daily, strong bullish candle on the previous daily, liquidity candle as well, higher high, lower low, closing strong bearish, not quite engulfing though. Still based off that, probabilities are more in favor to the downside. You also have the structure bearish on the daily time frame, sparking a high but low. as well and see what we've got above that. It is a 4-hour resistance. 4-hour structure still is bullish, just tricky. That way, I mean, as soon as you break this support, you're running straight into more support to the left. I will adjust this zone shortly. M30 is definitely bearish, so bit of a mixed bag. Let me have a look at a 15. No idea how this, I mean, it's quite appropriate in music at the moment. I feel for charting this pair. Sorry to digress. Look, perhaps on the 15, if you got a closure above this point here, you're at 4-hour support. That could be an option to buy it above 20.37.185. Otherwise, it's very choppy in the current area, just consolidating. This is one of those situations where I'd rather let it create a clean move down, form support to buy it, or clean move up, form resistance, and look for options to sell it. So downside, you don't have much margin. That's the issue. You've got support after support after support. See on the 30 if it's cleaner. Not really, to be honest. Yeah, in this situation, my preference is wait for it to create a clean move, pull back, open up the range below into what I believe, in my opinion, is more probable to the sell option. Same thing happened on GJ yesterday, and anyone on stream was listening and they took advantage of it. Well done. Alright, so also keep an eye on a 30. For closed week bearish, I'd still consider the buy options on gold on the next M30 candle. We've got just under 11 minutes remaining. Daniel, g'day to you, mate. Hope you're well. You're looking on longs? Yeah, I mean, I feel there's good options for either direction, to be honest, but it looks cleaner to the upside, that's for sure. All good, pleasure. NG, I think you can buy gold now. I'm gonna buy. That's if you do you. Fantastic. Stick to your plan. I'm just waiting for my confirmation to potentially join you. Just chilling, an indication, correction, continuation. Alright, cowboy space. Pepe. No chance of me looking at Pepe. When is Trump going to talk? Is he scheduled to talk gold? Looks like a quick break. It could be any time with Trump. He could tweet at any moment. Gold looks like it wants to break, but I'm not going to take the impulse entry. I've got no lower wick as well on the 15. Members, I'll just send you guys a link. So it's breaking just now. I've got no entry, guys. I'm waiting for these counts to close. It could be limit orders. I'm not prepared to take it on the impulse after the strength of that previous bearish engulfing candle. And there's absolutely no FOMO. It's just me following the rules that work for me. A lot of time they save me from taking the errant trade, and look at this right now. You would be now stuck in about 20 pip drawdown. So reasons why I have these rules. I probably would have cut it, to be honest, the majority of it anyway. Alright, members, link has been posted. AR 33, 1 min fair value gap, full confirmation for buy. Fair enough. That's what you're looking at. Or Ruru. It's a tongue twister for me. Us Aussies aren't really good at pronouncing names correctly. It's something I've think it's quite you guys probably know as well. Gold is what I'm looking at. GJ is just an absolute mess again. Same as yesterday. It was shit. It's actually at the exact same level as yesterday as well. Geez, I hope you guys were waiting patiently and listening to my opinion of gold and why it's best to wait for the closure. Because look at that, you'd be now more than 30 pip drawdown. So it's not always about being in the trade as well. It's also about mitigating risk, and you know, by not being in a trade that, in my opinion, is not as probable, you're just saving capital at that point. You're preserving capital. So we'll see. 6.5 minutes left. It could still close above, and then I will look to buy it. That used to be the case. Very simple. Hayden, you're right. Missing a trade is better than having a draw. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Welcome to you. Feel free to share the stream and smash that screen. TikTok. Apologies to my team. I've been out all day. My phone battery died, so couldn't keep you guys updated as to my whereabouts and why I was a little bit late. All good. Turning it back on. Alright, seeing we are pulling back, let's quickly look at GU. Looks similar to gold actually. We have not quite tapped into the support by the looks of it, unless we've done so on a 30. We have. Alright, so GU is really simple for me. If this M30 close bullish engulfing, it'll be buys. We've tapped into a level of liquidity here to the left. That's even without doing the top-down analysis, just based on pure simple price action. What I can see is, by the looks of it, we are still bearish on the 30. Bearish. Current weekly is forming bearish, but inside bar candle. Daily structure remains bearish. Previous daily closed bullish. Inside bar candle, 4-hour structure. Difficult one. If I remember correctly from yesterday, it's technically still bearish. So the buy system downside, but it's one of those ones where I always say to my guys, ask yourself the 3 W's. Or you need to consider the 3 W's. Where are we on the chart? Irrespective of the bias and structure. What do you want to see at that particular level? And then it's about just waiting for your confirmation. So the confirmation for me here would be, well, where we're at some pretty solid support at the daily low, bouncing off it. What I want to see, bullish engulfing on the 30. That will be a really nice strong catalyst. It's a liquidity candle as well. Broke the low of the previous M30, now popped up, break its high. In my opinion, it's a good chance we're going to close strong bullish. And then the waiting for the confirmation is, well, that's what I want to see. And then it's just a matter of waiting for that to happen, which could happen in the next few minutes. Wait for it to create a low wick, and potentially there's your entry. GJ popping up to the resistance. Just see something. I'm marking a 50% of this zone. That's the 50% on the 4-hour zone. I want to see how London, actually no, it's not London open yet. I want to see how the next candle opens up. Rip straight up. From what I've seen a lot when it comes to the 4-hour levels, price tends to pull up towards the 50% of the level and then reject. So if it has no low wick and it rockets straight up, there's a good chance it would pull back to create low wick, and that could be a good entry point for some very impulsive sell options. Really back to gold, so it's not closing above. Now let's look at the 30. How's that closing? So similar to what I mentioned yesterday on stream, guys, this is how I use the fib to gauge the strength of candles. So in this particular instance, it looks like it's going to close below 0.382. There's not a strong enough confirmation for the impulse based off that. Is it going to close above the 50%? Because that would make it a valid entry, just not as highly probable as if it closed above the 0.382. So they're the 2 levels. It's about to close it right at the 50, and it looks like it's closing just below it. Yeah, it's closed below it quite significantly in the end. So definitely no impulse entry for me yet again, especially off the back of that correction on the 15. We're right back in the middle of this consolidation. Just need to wait on gold. GJ popping straight up. Now let's see. Marquez, good day to you. Very slow down. TP 3057.33. 3065.33. So you are currently running a sell? Okay, fair enough. Hi, nice job starting early with the market prep. I wonder what broker to use. I'm reluctant to mention it in case it gives me a ban. I'm on my last warning on TikTok. So I've got to be really careful. I think that triggers it. GJ, it's rejecting, creating a lower wick just now. Alright, interesting. Rejected the most recent resistance. Gold coming back down, so nothing yet. All good, just chill a bit. Andre, we'll gold get to 31.45, 31.50 today. I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball to be able to tell you. No one knows. There is high impact news to come. That could definitely give it a shift. But I'm more concerned by the current levels. I'm looking for some quick scalps. Sam, yeah, this is gold. Using nothing clear from gold yet. We will see. Yeah, I agree. I 100% I agree. Andre, you want to enter long on gold? You do as you please, mate. If you've got the right confirmation to do so, by all means. For me, right now I don't have any confirmation to trade it, so I'm just chilling. That's it. Yep, so Sam, this is gold. Mo Sin Khan. I would start shorting gold from 31.24. Fair enough. Hope you are in a short from that point because you're in some good profits. Game cop gold sellers running 22k profits done for the week. Good work. Well done. Well done. Why most people trade OTC markets? Never heard of OTC markets. Over the counter markets? That's what I know. OTC is traded by the federal bank, by the national banks, federal banks, that type of thing. By, you know, maybe hedge funds, I don't know. It's traded by the big wigs of it all, not by us retail traders. I think you may mean a different broker, to be honest. Yeah, sorry mate, not too sure what you meant by that. Royal, thank you, appreciate it. GJ, wow, the rejection. Did have that as an entry last year. I've not taken it yet this year. Tapping into that level because this year I'm looking to 50% of the zone more than the actual most recent resistance. It's literally popped up, rejected, and it's just based off the fact that we know there's about 95+% chance a candle with no wick in this case to the downside, it's popped straight up at a higher time frame resistance. There is a very high probability it's going to pull back to create a low wick, and by that point usually at break even, sometimes if secure 10+ pips, this is already rolling in 12+ pip profit if anyone managed to get an entry. Look at it now. Wow, never mind. Barney, what am I trading? Gold is the preference, but I also look at Great British Pound, Japanese yen. You waiting for confirmation too? All good. CFDs and Forex over the counter markets, that means those decentralized, not order book. I don't know, I just trade, mate. I'm not into that crap, to be honest. It means you can't see who trades OMT orders or placed MKT orders again. I'm really not bothered by it. All I'm bothered by is whether or not I can connect to my broker and I can get involved in the trade that I see fit. That's all I worry about. I have no idea why people prefer to trade that way as opposed to another way. It's the same as, you know, I don't know, why does one person drive a Toyota and the other one drive a Honda or something? It's personal preference. No idea why. As long as I can connect to my broker and trade, that's all I care about. Basically, trading Forex, ORD, CFDs, there is more guess rather than a high probability prediction. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I just do what I do and that's it. And I know the way I do it, I get 80%. I'm likely to be 80% right 8 out of 10 times. The win streak is now 10 on stream. And it's something like 14 in the past 15. So I think that's pretty good. What time frame is this? So this is right now the 15th. Oh, it's okay. I suggest you only if you want to course to check the order flow. Also, you can trade. Yeah, I know what you mean, because I've seen people, you're talking about order books and all that. Again, to me, I don't need that, because what I do is not broke, so I'm fine sticking to what I'm doing. I don't say, you know, I'm the best trader out there or anything, but I am a competent trader, and I believe what I do is you know, good enough to share. And you guys can make up your own mind. Simple as that. And I always suggest use whatever you can, whatever tool you can to add confidence to a trade, whether it be indicators, order books, simple price action like myself, whatever works, whatever floats your boat. That's what you should do. Look at GJ. That would have been a cracking entry. Ooh. All good. Harry, good day to you. Cinch. Well, I'm waiting for gold at the moment to close above 3119.11 to be exact. On the 15, that would suffice. We rejected that level multiple times. We've got some pretty clean traffic to the left above it. So that's what I'm currently waiting for. GJ is just consolidating below the resistance. There's nothing really on GJ. If it pops back down, a clean move down to support and respects it, then I'm going to start to look for a price action catalyst to potentially buy it from support. Oh, broker again. I've got to be careful. I don't want to mention it because it'll get me a. It's one of the things I think triggers the TikTok bots to ban me. So it's in a video. I've mentioned it on stream by accident multiple times. I think I mentioned it yesterday as well. All right, better option is the 30 high. It is a 30-minute resistance. I'll accidentally mention it on stream again, so it's all good. Vince, what you think about gold? It's gonna go up. I personally believe if it respects the support formed at the daily low and starts to pop above the resistance recently formed, then there is a good chance it will head up. Whether it's sustained or heads back down, I don't know, but I'm not that worried by it. I just want to get my quick scalp if I can. That's all I'm really concerned about at the moment, nothing else. Stefan, good day to you. Cinch, all good. Thank you to the new followers. Spies, what time frame do I use? Well, mainly the 15 and 30. Also 5. Daniel, I can. It's not popping up. I don't know what broker that one was. I've got saved in my watch list, but it's not working for whatever reason. Looking a bit different to gold at the moment, silver. You've got the weekly pulling back quite significantly, respecting the most recent resistance. Daily, so it's pretty sure it's bullish. Very similar to gold. I think the bias is bullish, maybe the 30 is bearish. Daily is bullish, but you do have counter probabilities to the downside. Bouncing and respecting well, bouncing out of support, respecting it at the moment. So it's at a key level. 4 hour. It's actually, yeah, it's bullish. 4 hours bullish. And it will remain bullish until we close below this here swing point. These two bearish candles. So the 4 hours bullish. The M30 is bearish. So it's the same as gold. Got some minor support at this point here. Actually, it doesn't look bad for, oh, you got that support just there. I was going to say, if that support wasn't there, based on counter probabilities, weak bullish candle closure on the previous with long upper wick, could have been a valid impulse entry, but it's not clear that support, so I would not be looking for that impulse entry. What I'd be waiting for on silver is closure below 33,736, retest, and there's your option to sell it in line for 30-minute structure. And otherwise, I'd be looking for buys from support from lower down. The bias is still technically bullish, so we could just be pulling back. We are at daily support. It has been respecting this level multiple times. So if we did form support, whether it be above 33.66 or even lower down, really above 33.50 roughly, then I'd be looking for my options to buy it. That's probably the cleanest you'll get for a buy if it did make a nice clean pullback. The best option, sorry. And wait for confirmation to buy it lower down. Buys above, you're running into some resistance. It may have the margin above this point here. 33.889. Yeah, it's my opinion. It doesn't look great, to be honest. Gold looks a lot better. Alright, so 15 is closing strong bullish. Don't quite have a catalyst though. It's still closing below resistance. So for me, right now, there is still no entry. Stefan, thank you very much for the stickers. Appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. I have no idea what they do, but yeah, do appreciate. What's my opinion of XRP? Did it reach the bottom before it's XRP at 2.5k? Wow. Let me focus on gold because we could potentially have an option to trade it. It is popping up now. Impulse entries, my preference would be, because we've not closed above the 15-minute resistance, nor have we closed above 50% of from the body to the closure of that, sorry, to the open, that bearish candle. So that's not quite a strong enough catalyst. However, would really like for that to pop right up, then reject, create a lower wick, and then look to buy it if it breaks its own high again. So this rate, we're likely waiting for the 30-minute. Likely. Keep a little bit of an eye on it. XRP to 2.5k. Wow. Wonder what makes you think that. Look, it's at a very strong level, that's for sure. Risks at key support. For me, this $2 region is very, very strong support. I think as long as it continues to hold that, and there's a high probability at some point, but a lot of it obviously depends on Bitcoin. Mentioned what I think of Bitcoin yesterday, and what I said yesterday was there's a good chance we broke that candle's high, that we could continue bullish. Your next destination, if you're beginning to break the current daily candle's high, is 87. Based off that, XRP, Ethereum will also likely move to the upside. Yeah, but to me, 2.5k, unless you accidentally, it was a misprint, you typed it wrong. $2.50 on the other hand is very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. I have no real prediction of it because I don't follow it. That's the thing. I don't really follow the crypto, to be honest. I don't trade it. I've tried it a few times, but it's just tough because I find the times where it tends to have volume are the times I'm not on the chart. So during the New York session, more so. Also during the Asian session, I'm not often on the charts during that session. It tends to have more volume around that time of day than during the London session from what I've seen. Did it breach bottom? Potentially. Again, it keeps bouncing off $2. That's a key level. So as long as it respects that level, I think there's a good chance it will continue up. Your queen on Sunshine. What do you trade? Trade from my house? True, that's where I trade from. From Melbourne, mate. Melbourne, Australia. Messi kill Muzz. Needs to close above breakout. Next one, retest level, then flips. And we enter. I think that's a really good option, to be honest. I think that's definitely the more probable option in this rate is just simply waiting for. Pretty sure this is what you meant. Closure above, and the accounts pop down, retest, and then you look to enter as it begins to break. By far the more probable entry. KJ Gold's bearish. I will look for sales if I was a day trader. All good. Again, no problem with having a different opinion. Beauty of it is I could maybe get involved in buys and take some profits, and you could maybe get involved in sells and take profits. I think we had that last Thursday. If I'm not mistaken, I took a sell, got some quick little scalp, and about 15 minutes later, because a few of you are saying it's a buy, and I agree it was a buy, but I saw an option to take a quick counter trend entry. And then 15 minutes later I was in a buy, and that was a really big win. For those who remember, literally the limit order tagged in and just popped straight up, hit full TP within like 15 minutes. Cinch, when you start live sessions, so usually about 10 minutes on TikTok, about 10 minutes to 5 p.m. Oz time, which will change next week once our clocks here in Melbourne change, once daylight savings ends. So it's usually 6:45, 6:50 a.m. UK time. So about just over an hour prior to London Open. Jojo, that gold support will not hold. We're just generating liquidity. Potentially, you could be right. You could be right, my friend. Hayden, you're from Australia, yeah. Thank you for staying there, so that we don't. Not sure what you mean by that. Very brave. I'm not too keen on Australia, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of it. It is a bit of a shithole, to be honest, these days. It used to be a lot better. Melbourne used to be a really good city, but now it's a beautiful city. It's just full of dickheads, to be honest. Benny Chamberlain, where have you been, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Shortly, perhaps. You could be right. You've been listening. Wonder if your strategy uses the decom population of the manipulation. Jesus, tongue twisters, trying to catch me unawares, aren't you? Trying to put me off. No answer to that. All good in you. Purple as well. Daniel so which makes the sell invalid. Sell on what's that on gold? Really not interested in selling it, to be honest. So Loki Gold's been making hella moves during Asian lately. It has, and I mentioned that yesterday. Asian session's been where it's at, and a lot of people say, why would you trade Asian session? Shit, no volume. That is a crock of shit. That's what I would say. Asian session gives you some really nice moves, especially on gold. So Loki, try living in UK. Yeah, I've heard as well. It's not much. It's pretty similar actually to here. Oh, silver. Yeah, it's that lower wick puts me off for sure. There's no entries prior to price clearing that level, in my opinion. And look what it's done so far. It keeps respecting it. That is a zone of liquidity created by that candle which closed bullish. If it was bearish, I wouldn't be so concerned by it, but it's bullish, so bullish candles confirm support. So therefore, I would not like to trade into it until it's cleared that level. So closure below, retest, 15-minute would be okay, and that would be a more probable entry in my personal opinion. Let's wait on gold. Let's wait for session open. Are we going to close above? Or is there going to be a price action catalyst on the London session open candle that could give us options to take it by? Wait and see. Ben, been busy grinding. London open is difficult to make most days. All good, mate. All good. As long as you're well. Could present nicely on this open candle. Potentially, yeah, potentially. So on a 34, an impulse entry to be valid, we can now put in 50% of this zone. And what I want to see to give me the confidence that this is a strong enough catalyst is for this candle to close above that point there. Then what I would need to see at London Open is a low wick form, whether it pops up first, then pulls back, creates low wick, or pops straight down, either or. And I can look for a potential impulse entry. If not, it's not a strong enough confirmation. But if we close above the body of the bearish candle, then I may just wait for pure price action to dictate whether or not I might be able to get an entry. So what I could look at is what I love. I love this shit when a candle pops straight up to tap into or even just break the area I want to get involved without a low wick, then it's going to do one or two things. Either I'm not going to be in it, it continues bullish, that's all good, just not a high probable entry in my opinion. But a lot of time what it will do is pull back to create that low wick, tap back into the consolidation. As soon as it does that, I set a buy stop back above the high of that candle, knowing that if we were to continue bearish, then we've already created an upper wick and we've pulled back, there is no need for us to pop back up and break our own high. If we break our own high, a few things here. We've bounced off the high time frame support. We've grabbed some more liquidity potentially from the downside, the consolidation. And with the clean traffic to the left-hand side here, there's a high probability if we broke again that it would make a nice move up. So that is one thing that I could potentially look for if it doesn't give me the right catalyst in the next few minutes. Back to GJ. That's just consolidating. So we'll stick to gold. Let's see. Not going to force nothing. Trading market, GJ sells if counter close below the support. Yeah, but still way off. Daniel, all good, mate. TikTok. Amir, buy or sell? Nothing at the moment. Looking for buys, but no confirmation just yet. I need to wait 3 minutes. Okay, Joe, I remember it. Nice one. Mario, we're try to enter potentially on the next candle if we get the right confirmation in the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'll be looking for some buy options. Miss Kilmaz. Totally butchering that pronunciation. All good. Got a buy stop resting at the 3/1/1902. Okay. Interesting. Hope it works for you, and hopefully we can get involved as well, or I can. Oh, Keijo, yeah. It has been. It's created some really nice moves every single day for like the past week. Cheers, guys, for following. Daniel, could be a sell on GJ coming. Yeah, it's still got a clear 93, 180 in my opinion. As soon as you close and break below support, you're running straight into support here to the left. There is absolutely no margin. There's about 4 pips, 3 pips. It's the same thing on a 15. Things are tricky at the moment, not trending like it had been earlier during the Asian session. Just stuck in some consolidation here on gold. Keep rejecting the most recent resistance, so there's nothing yet. Could just rip, in all honesty, it could just rip up. But again, I'm a strictly rule-based trader, so I'm not going to do nothing without the right confirmation to take any entry. I'd rather just miss the move. Proof why on this attempt for price to break out, why I wasn't interested in buying it. Seeing what coming from the first of all, off the back of a bearish engulfing M15, the previous candle. This candle had no lower wick and we're just stuck in some consolidation. I mean, there was absolutely no confirmation to take a buy as it broke. Had you have taken that buy, you would have been, look, for me, I would have definitely been stopped out where I placed my stop losses, so on and so forth, in the way I manage a trade. So all good. Once again, no confirmation. London Open, guys, it's closed right back in the middle of consolidation. If it rips up, it rips up. Not give a shit, could not care less. Now GJ, all right, interesting. It's popped straight down. It's not a 4-hour level. It's a high probability it's going to flip and create an upper wick, as it did here. Yeah, but you'd have to be in it. It's already popped up about 3-4. There we go. Way too quick. Way too quick. Yeah, that's just simple, once again, simple price action. Daniel, maybe not enough clean traffic to the left. Yeah, exactly. It's a real must. Like I mentioned yesterday, don't think you were on, I think you were on the 3MY for a minute and then you dropped off. About GJ yesterday, how on stream I mentioned let it, throughout the stream it was just stuck in this crap. There was nothing. There was no entry for me. So I said let it create a clean move down, clean pullback, look for a rejection, and then you could potentially sell, or vice versa. Let it create a clean move up, and then maybe down, look for the option to buy it. And just proves why, because we made that clean move to cut through the crap, open up the range again, some clean traffic, clean pullback. Look what happened afterwards, made another really clean move down. So it's a lot more probable when you got those clean candles to the left that you're trading into. Did see it? It's starting to sink in. Nice one. Yeah, we can go over it as well. Analyst says that it's probably a buy coming and just need 3,110 confirmation. Pull back to that level. Potentially, I mean, look, if we did pop straight back down, we move down, only to reject, and even wick into the range below 3,010. Only to close back bullish above it. Could look for the buys from lower down. We need this. We need to start to make a clear move down. The more we print data within the current level, the more we consolidate, the more difficult it is to, and at this rate it is, likely would avoid this whole level. But similar to what I mentioned on GJ yesterday, otherwise just a matter of waiting for it to create some clean moves, and then you could potentially look to get involved in trades within the current minor range, so long as you got the margin. And the other issue right now on gold is because of the volume, stop losses are very wide. So based on that, it may not be worth taking a trade within the current level. Once again, I'm not really keen on running with a 60 pip stop when I'm looking for just a quick scalp, because the fact of the matter is gold is volatile and it could easily get into a trade and then pop straight back down 40-50 pips. And I use fixed lot sizes, so for me it means I risk more per trade. It all depends on where my stop loss placement is, and if I'm not quick enough to manage the trade, or if it rips back and takes me out, it would be a substantial loss which I'm not prepared to take. So I need a reasonable stop loss. You guys who watch me in a regular know I like to manage my trades in a drawdown, and with a really high win rate I end up being, you know, on the right side of things. Alright, so GJ is at a level we could potentially buy it from. I need a 30-minute confirmation, so I've still got time to wait. But within it, because it's off the back of a very strong bearish candle, I need more than just one 30-minute bullish candle. I need a few things to present. Either if this candle was to close like so, bearish, what would give me the utmost confidence to consider a buy would be the following M15, or somewhat like so, because at that point 30 minutes going to look like a liquidity candle after rejecting the support. That suggests we grab some liquidity from the downside as long as we got the margin and a low wick in the falling candle, and I could look to buy it based off that. But the way we're currently pulling back, stop loss could be, again, could be an issue. So I'm not ruling out GJ buys. And gold, there is nothing for me at the moment. To look at for a range of gold is tasty. Whenever we snap out of that, gonna go crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's either direction really. You gotta clear the all-time high yet again though, to the upside. The downside, I mean, these bearish wicks are going to be obviously levels of support on the 30-minute, 15-minute, so on, even the hourly, 2 hour. Some of the guys I coach use the 2 hour time frame. Carl, hope you're all, brother. Welcome. Nice one. Put early trades, you couldn't sleep. Good work. Very good work. Carl, markets look a little slow this morning for London session. Yeah, GJ's got a fair bit of volume. Unfortunately, no real confirmation. The impulse sell would have worked, but I wanted to pull up a higher into the zone before considering it. Went right back at support, so there's nothing right now on GJ. And yeah, gold is just consolidating. All good. Obviously, high impact news to come for the US dollar moving forward. For me, I'm not fast because I'll be on with my guys later. And we'll see. Plenty of time. Once again, TikTok, thank you to all the new followers. Appreciate it. And Stefan, thank you once again for those stickers. Do appreciate that too. Alright, let's quickly look at GU yet again. So, didn't close bullish engulfing, a few candles back. So once again, there'd be no confirmation. Back at support. Definitely looking good for some sells below it as well, guys. 30-minute is bearish. So it keeps rejecting. Just let me use my magnet tool. So it's rejected that 15-minute level multiple times. The consolidation just above previous support. If we begin to pop below 129.065, could be some options. One thing to be a little bit wary of is 129 flat. One of the members yesterday, Franco, got involved in a sell and absolutely spot on. You could not call it any better. Got to break it even, secured some profit, tapped into 129 flat, I think it was, and right on it and rejected. Yeah, it was around here. It was EU. It was, could have been EU. It was a key level anyway. It was a psychological round number, and it did reject at the time. Speaking of, let's have a look at EU. Not had a look at it today. Obviously consolidating at what looks to be some pretty strong support. You've got the weekly, also still very early into the new month, guys. The weekly equity candle and the previous weekly candle, current candle, inside bar candle does a lower high. Let's mark in the current candle's low and just see what we've got below that point there. Let's move on to the daily, and on that time frame we are still, the way I see it, technically bullish. I know most would be saying it's bearish. We've not created a higher high, we've not confirmed the higher high, we've not closed above this impulse to the upside, we've rejected it. But irrespective of the structure, the way I see it, what I can see is within the structure itself, so the trend within the trend, if that makes sense, we are forming some lower highs, lower lows, potentially, well, lower high we've confirmed. If we were to break that previous candle's low, which is the weekly low, in my opinion, it's a good chance we could continue down a bit. Bit of an issue on the 4-hour low. It is bullish in structure, and we're also just below the current support. You're running straight into the next level of support, so there's really no margin to the downside unless we can adjust it on the M30. Quickly have a look at that. So we're bullish on the 4-hour, bullish on the daily, the way I see it. Weekly, still based off the previous at this rate, about to flip for around the MY session. I will start to refer to the current weekly candle for its direction. And a 30-minute, also appears to be bullish, the way I see it. Not closed above this impulse to the upside. So therefore, anything between 107,630 roughly, and these highs technically bullish in structure. However, yeah, I mean, it's difficult to sell it. It is very difficult to sell it just based on where it's at. So again, ask yourself the question, where are we? Owning in on a 4-hour support, higher time frame support. Bias is technically bullish. I'd rather just wait and see how price reacts to 107.80 and look for a confirmation to buy it. The cleaner the move down to that level, the better, because it makes the move back up more probable, in my opinion. Right now, we're just kind of in the middle, so it needs to create some clean moves. Whether it creates a clean move up, I would still consider selling it from the highs of the 4-hour resistance. For continuation buys, yeah, you probably want to get involved above 108.12 roughly. It could be options above 108 also for some buys. Don't have a great deal of margin though, but if you can get a 1-to-1. All right, GJ dropping, still continuing down. And look at that liquidity candle, but again, it's at support, so there's no confirmation for me to sell it. Nothing at all. Trump announcing tariffs later. Okay. Yeah, actually, that does ring a bell. You're right. That could definitely shake things. Alanzi, yes, this is, oh, actually no, this is GJ. So I'm not trading it for 15, no chance. Not on GJ. I need to wait for a 30-minute. It's going to be a big stop loss based for 15. I'm not comfortable with that on GJ, so I'm definitely waiting for a 30-minute closure. The best scenario that could happen right now, it's not going to happen because there's 5 seconds left of this 15-minute. But if it closed below, followed by a really weak bullish candle, respecting this zone on the next M15, that would be the ideal scenario to sell it on the next M30. If anyone is interested in entry, you want to wait for this pullback, crane up a week, and then potentially sell it to break zone low again. But you're taking it, bearing in mind, off the back of a candle that's already moved about 33 pips. You're waiting for it to pull back, and then it's got to drop again. You anticipate it's going to move at least another 10, 15, 20, 30 pips, so you can take profit within the one 30-minute candle. So for me, it's just not a high probability entry, and it's just melting at the moment. Either way, there's no upper wick, so there is absolutely no confirmation, in my opinion. Franco, all good, mate, all good. Well, that was spot on yesterday, and you called it on the members stream. Well done if anyone is in some impulsive GJ sells, but just not strong enough confirmation for me. Not at all. Okay, GU's also breaking. breaking the support. Much the same as GJ, it's just dropped without really an upper wick. So the next possible option I'd be looking at on GU, if I was to trade it, was maybe limit orders. You close below, I'd say about 3 pips below low of that support, the lowest point of any bullish candle at that support. So it's obviously low of the support. Then I would set potentially limit order based off that. So the buy would be set back at, once again, back at the low of that candle. In anticipation, new candle likely pull back to create an upper wick. A level it could potentially pull back to grab a little bit more liquidity before it's ready to head back down is the previous level of support that it had just broken and closed below. Still 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in this candle, so it could pop back up. And look at gold, guys. Tapped into that support. And potentially we are bouncing off it, looking pretty good. So let's wait and see what this M30 closes. Exact same issue though. Stop loss is going to be huge, so we're gonna need to wait for the new candle to create a decent low wick and trust that to hold for the stop loss if there is to be an entry. Mostly can't. Yep, I'm on gold at the moment. Guys, give me a minute or two. I'll be back very shortly. Don't go nowhere. Alrighty, guys. Let's keep a close eye on gold. Let's see where this candle closes. Nice liquidity grab from the downside, potentially. bouncing off that support formed at the daily low yet again, so shall see. All right, GJ popping back up. Yeah, so for me to contemplate any GJ sell, I'd rather get involved on a limit order, but it's come from the high of the day, basically without any exhaustion whatsoever. So nothing wrong with waiting for it to trigger in some buys and then potentially look for further sells later on. If price was to reject yet again and come back down towards the low, if this candle did close back bullish, the focus is definitely gold at the minute. No name, not right now on GJ. Potentially limit order sells, but for that to be valid, I want to see this M15/M30 close 6 pips minimum below. Well, it's just a rule that I have that works well for me. So what's the low? The low is 178, so it has to be 118. So for a limit order to be valid, that's where I want it to close below. Cheers guys for following, all the new followers on TikTok, appreciate it. I really want a strong closure on gold. The same rules basically applies to what I mentioned before on the previous M30. Preference is for it to close, for any impulse entry, for it to close above the 50% from the low of the zone to the high of the zone. That would signify enough strength in the current candle to suggest if the new candle creates a low wick and begins to pull away from this zone into the clean range above, that we could make a substantial move, enough to get me some, at least the TP1. Off the back of that, I would be willing to take an entry. The higher probability entry is simply waiting for a closure above. That is by far the higher probability entry. Closure above, retest, continuation. George Shumain. How many times you trade? Not yet today. This week, one trade, both on stream, Monday and Tuesday. So two trades, both were winning trades. Once again, amount of time, but I've not lost on stream for out of the past 10 trades. They've all been wins. 14 of the past 15 as well, so been in some pretty good form. Michinku, I was expecting gold to sell. The daily time frame, there's a lot of imbalance and order block. That's all right. I'm looking for it to bounce off the support and just simple price action dictating my entry, whether I've got one or not. 911 British pound. Yeah, so it's popping back above support GJ, like I mentioned before. Okay, I can see the continuation entry. The issue is you've had no exhaustion, you come from a daily high. I'd rather get involved on the limit order, and that would be valid so long as we close below 193, 118 in accordance to my rules. Got a bit of lag on TikTok. Apologies, guys. George Shumain. George Shumain. What, you mean a day, or? I'm a little bit confused. Sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times, sometimes no times. It just depends if I get the right confirmation. Sometimes 1 time. Let's see, 2 minutes. Are we gonna get a confirmation, guys? Yeah, Charlie, I've realized that. I saw it on my end as well. Apologies. Looking forward to next week because these streams, I can stay on a little bit longer into London Open. Obviously, with the time changing here in Melbourne. Not sure how it'll affect the stream numbers though, to be honest. I feel it may be a detriment to the TikTok stream, to be honest. Streams are going to start earlier. I'm assuming a lot of you are probably at work or not yet finished or on your way back. But anyway, we'll see. CC waiting 118 to sell. No, I'm not looking to sell it from that level. I'm preferring the buys, to be honest, than above the resistance, but it's not likely going to close above. GJ still may close above the actual point where I want to start to get involved in sells as well, so we'll wait and see. We don't yet have the confirmation. Gold is just consolidating. Plain and simple, it's just consolidating. Charlie, exactly, 100%. That's all it's doing. There is no confirmation for me. So when it's in consolidation, I refuse to take an impulse entry. Refuse to take it. Because it could do what every other one of these counters have done. Looks like it's about to break and just rip straight back down. The best thing to do in this situation is just simply to wait. Wait for it to do this. Closure above. And your option is the more probable option would be to let it tap in, retest the resistance, and then enter as it begins to break the high of the catalyst candle. That is by far the more probable entry, and it's going to get a lot of times going to get you not ensure, but there'll be less likely of a chance of you getting stopped out on a fake out, for instance, or a liquidity grab. So the issue is when it's coming from consolidation, it could easily just tag you in and rip straight back down, like every other one of these counters have done, basically. So my guys know exactly my opinion of gold right now. There is absolutely no entry, and I'd be pretty bewildered if any of them were trying to take a gold buy on the impulse. To be honest, I have no idea why they would, and I'm assuming none of them would, to be honest. Yeah, Charlie, I agree 100%. Best thing to do right now is just chill. Let it dictate where it wants to go. And let's see if not sure if be on stream for it, but if later on you guys can pick up the scraps, if I can pick up scraps. Once again, I don't try to predict the move, I react. Kojo, yeah, that's another thing. When you got some really clear and clean and trending price action, that's when the impulse entries are more probable. Sunglass emoji, what reasons make price consolidate? Well, it's areas of liquidity, so building up orders to either the upside or downside. So what you'll find is there is a lot of volume being built up in these pockets of liquidity for it to eventually make a move, and that's why sometimes you're going to see it just rip without it closing just above. It's just going to rip up sometimes. But how do you know which candle is going to make the move? That's the issue. So you're best just to wait to let it prove to you. And if you can still get involved in a buy, you know it's a much higher probability buy at that point. So same thing on the downside. Yeah, so it's basically the market's back to a point of liquidity where there are both the buy and sell up orders present, and it's a bit of an arm wrestle. And eventually it's going to break in either direction. I'm still preferring the buys, but I will not be opposed to selling it. We do have the 30-minute structure being bearish at the moment. There is a particular indicator that you can use, which I know it's one of the volume indicators. I think the best one is the lazy bear volume indicator. I think it's a paid subscription. I think you need to have more than the basic plan on TradingView. And what that does is just show you these pockets of liquidity and where they're being built up. And yeah, some can use that to their advantage. I don't use indicators, to be honest. I don't feel a need to. There's nothing wrong with what I do, so. Pretty boring stream, to be honest. Not much going on. Ollie, rug pull. Ollie, sorry. What's a rug pull? Gold's not a rug pull. This ain't the crypto, my friend. Charlie, some equities I feel as well. I think some of the meme stocks. Gold is not a rug pull. Can be manipulated just like anything else, really. Any trade asset, to be honest. Silver is highly manipulated. There's a massive story to that. I'm not going to go into the details, but a lot of my members have heard me speak about it quite often, actually. So I do like silver. I really like it. Not when it comes to trading. Lemon, not sure when Trump is supposed to speak today. Ollie, all good, man. All good. No, this is gold. You're probably looking at the ticket thinking, what the hell is that? XAUUSD. No, that's gold. Gold spot price. So yeah, definitely not a rug pull. It's gonna take a lot to pull the rug out on gold, that's for sure. Ollie's strategy is just, it's basically in the profile name, analyze, confirm, trade. So I analyze the charts based on 4 different time frames, more so the minor time frames. Determine my levels of support resistance based on the 4-hour M30 and M15 as well. And I just wait for simple signals within price action at my levels in order to get involved in trade. It's what works for me. It's not for everyone. I've got a lot of simple rules that I do follow, and each trade is different to the previous. So each trade will have a different rule set. So yeah, it's pretty much what I do. And once again, it works for me. There is many different ways, one can trade. But what I suggest is just do what works for you. I've had some really good success with some of the guys I've been coaching, mentoring. And yeah, it's all about sticking to some very steadfast, strict, solid rules. A snap. Nothing right now, gold. There is nothing. Yeah, so I'm very rule based, mate. Very rule based. Really disciplined. So I'm happy to sit a couple days in a row without trading if there's nothing I sit that I see fit. Like I always mention, I want a chance to prove to me why I should trade. I don't go on the charts hunting a trade. I think that's the wrong way to go about it. because then you get disappointed if nothing, or then you're gonna likely take a trade, even if it's not really valid. You're still likely to take something to justify it being on the charts. For me, I want the charts to prove to me why I should risk, you know, hard-earned cash. That's what I do. So of late, it's been really good. I've had really nice entries. There are days when I'm not going to get an entry. It might be a couple of days in a row where I might not get an entry. And there are days where we've got 2 entries in the same pair within 15 minutes. On gold, we had an entry last Thursday to the downside for a quick scalp, and then got in a really nice buy 15 minutes on the next M15, I think it was, and that was a really nice win. So yeah, definitely. Yep. Henrik, which pair? This is gold spot gold. Victor, definitely not interested in selling gold at the moment. Oh, sorry, A7A. Yeah, A7A. Yep. Can you show the difference between your strategy in this case compared with order block? So I'm assuming order blocks, people just place limit orders. I'm assuming at the order blocks, if that's, if I'm not mistaken. I wait for confirmations because price could just break through and continue through an order block to the upside or downside. So I look for the right confirmation at those levels to get involved in my trade. So I've got many different confirmations. Once again, it all depends on the approach and what I deem to be the most suitable catalyst at the time. All that is, again, it's taken me about, look, the best part of 6 years to really hone in on those rules and catalysts. I've been training for 8 years and I'm still adapting. There's still things I add to what I create. I've created a 100 and something page document, which includes, or actually includes videos. I add to it. Probably needs an update too, to be honest. I think there was one. Yeah, for the most part, it's all in there though. Yeah, so for me, I do take limit orders, but not as often, and for different reasons as well. It could be the interruption play, which presents within a range. Those who watch me on stream will start to pick up on when I say these things, what I mean by it. Could be on a zone-to-zone limit order, for instance. But I'm usually 99% of the time waiting for a closure or confirmation. Ollie, 8 years. Jack, what you looking for? So right now, just closure above resistance here on the gold. Charlie, I trade the same session each day. I do have another interest in the background. And I feel that also, what good thing about that is it helps takes the pressure off. You know, I don't feel forced to take a trade. So yeah, but I do trade London session pretty much every single day. It might be an occasional day I miss. Trade pre-MY a little bit, but not often, to be honest. All right, so I'll wait for this 15 to close and I'll see. Otherwise, I'm likely going to head off because it's starting to stretch the stream out a bit. A7A, do you trade 30-minute? Because order blocks will be too big, I think. Yeah, 30-minute, 15. Also, look at the 5-minute from time to time on gold. I mean, the 5 minute looks decent for a sell below this support, but I look at it on the 15 and 30 and I think it looks like absolute trash if you're trying to sell it back into that. And the higher the time frame, it's the stronger the confirmation, so I would much follow the higher time frame. Henrik, not just yet, but possibly. Zach's not yet. A7A, yep. So it's the 15. We want a really strong closure here on the 15. We really want it to close above at least the bearish candle highs here. All right, starting to look a bit better. Lemon, not often. I will start to trade a little bit more once the clocks change here next week. It's a little more friendly, the time of evening. Be 10 p.m. as opposed to a couple weeks back it was midnight. Right now it's 11 p.m. but I'm talking about when NY opens. But as of next week it'll be 10 p.m. A7A, okay, interesting. Caden, love a good M sign. That resistance will resist. Potentially, we could look at it on the flip side, say it's a potential W formation. Arnold, yeah, potentially. So definitely need to see a low wick. Definitely need a low wick. It has to be a decent one. Can't be just a tiny low wick. Oh, have we not got an upper wick? Ah, man. We don't have an upper wick. I don't have it on my broker. No entry for me. I cannot take it without the upper wick. Because for me, that means there potentially is no momentum for the next candle to continue. It could just create the upper wick and wick straight back down. Again, it's a simple rule, guys. I don't have it on my broker in order to take a trade just now. You really want this to pop back down more and then break its own high. Looking a little bit better, but again, I don't have that wick. Anyone else with IC markets? Do you guys have a wick? My guys, I know some of them are with IC, they might be able to help me. Yeah. Okay, stupid momentum. It is a bit all over shop. I just don't have that confirmation I need. So once again, I have these rules for a reason because they really save me a lot from taking trades which go the wrong way. And this is often one of them that there's a good chance that it could just end up reversing, closing back down. So I'm not prepared to take it off the back of that. Apologies, guys. Again, I just got to follow what works for me. I'm not going to get involved in anything in between. Lemon, my broker. TradingView's got a tiny one. You guys can see if I just remove the drawings. A real small. It's not even a nipple. I don't know what you call that. It's really small. I don't have it on my broker at all. It's got no upper wick. Does look better for breaks now though, because it has pulled back to create more of a lower wick, and I'm just not convinced. Yeah, you have to be in it either way. All good. Be another time. No stress. The hardest part is just chilling, because this thing could easily fly just now, but all good. I didn't have the right confirmation, so I'm not stressed at all. Slow, waiting for daily gap to get filled. It could do that. Romario, appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Okay, an upside down green hammer after a slight red doji should reach 122 nicely. Yeah, there's a good chance it will. But again, I just don't have that wick. That really is off-putting to me. The Loki, well done. Smarties? Yeah. 1 hour liquidity candle? Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad option. Anyway, I'm not in it, so what can I do? Too late to jump in just now. All good, not fast. Okay, 1 minute time frame. Yeah, nice work to those of you who did get involved. Oh well, is what is. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna go chill for a while. It's been a bloody long day. It's lucky, yeah, that's it. Not fussed at all, really not fussed at all. It's been a cracking start to the week. It's been a cracking end to the previous month as well, so all good. Sure, there'll be plenty of opportunities moving forward. I'll be on with my guys a little bit later on. Appreciate you all for joining once again. If you've not yet followed, pretty sure most of you would have. Make sure to do so. I'll be back tomorrow from about same time as, actually earlier than today, from the usual time, about 6:45 a.m. UK time, 6:50 a.m. on TikTok. And you guys take care. Have a good one. Appreciate you all. Catch you later. Cheers. Bye guys.